Testing. What's good, people? It's your boy, Uncle Fred. It's game day, and we're just going to talk to you guys a little bit. Just wanted to hit a couple things. Talk at y'all. I want to see how y'all feeling. All the stuff that's been happening since I talked to y'all last. But I got one question for all the Cowboy fans that's watching me, that's looking at my my stream and watching this ahead of game this week 5. How you feeling? And if that's the way that it's gonna turn out like you think, why are we even playing the game? Why even play the game? So we're going to talk about that right there. Why play the game and come up with the reasons why. You know, if you listen to conventional wisdom, listen to the talking heads, you listen to the 4-letter, the 3-letter networks, man, we should just forfeit this thing. Don't even show up. Wait about 3 weeks and come back when we got all our duckies lined up, right? We're going to talk about that and plus a little bit more ahead of this game on Sunday Night Football. I'm ready for it. Let's talk about it.
Two times on the beat, bitch.
Once again, folks, what's good? It's your boy, Uncle Fred, back in the house, back in the saddle one more again. Just ahead of game day, we got the Sunday Night Football. Look, I'm just going to tell you this like it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. All right, so yeah, it's not been a great weekend for me. Because the weekend started off bad on yesterday. I would have came on last night, but I was bumming because my Crimson Tide lost to Vanderbilt University. That university that makes doctors and lawyers and physicists and stuff like that actually beat us playing football. And I'm going to give y'all a history note on that. Vanderbilt has not beaten the University of Alabama in football since 1984. You know where I was in 1984? I was a senior in high school. You see that right there? See that? 1984? See that? Class of 1984? Yeah. I was in high school, 1984. That's been 40 years. Okay, so not real good right now. And I'm like, dang, now I got the Cowboys got to kind of bail me out. They can't go over. I can't go over this weekend. So, yeah, man, they lost. Then they supposed to have been like a 25-point favorite, 30-point favorite or something. They went up to Nashville. I probably should have went to the game. Maybe I've been a lucky charm. But they lost. But that Ryan Williams is a dude, man. If y'all ever get some time, go Google Ryan Williams, University of Alabama, and watch that kid. I mean, that dude would look good in the Cowboys. And I kind of been watching some of the games in the early. That's one thing when you play the evening games, you can actually sit back, relax, put your feet up after you come out of church, obviously. And you can, I don't know why this keeps coming out from behind there. I'm not using that right now. Stay underneath my shirt, please. But you get to sit back and watch, man. That Buffalo Texans game was good, man. Josh Allen had a tough game, 9 of 30, like 136 yards and a touchdown. I think he may have had an interception here or there too. But there was a 20-20 game, and they kicked the Texans kicked a field goal to win it in regulation. So that was a good game. The Commanders keep on trucking. I think it's 36-14 over the Cleveland Browns. They look out now, but the Commanders, Commodes, Commandos, whatever you want to call them, they 4-1. But anyway, that's just a couple of things that I saw today. As I'm watching and perusing the NFL ticket and watching the games that go by and stuff. But that ain't what y'all want to hear about. Y'all want to hear about our boys. So since I've talked to you guys last, it's been some stuff being said. We've lost Brandon Cooks. He was out for the game, but now he's been put on IR. As I said in my video, what was it? Thursday? Wednesday, Thursday. It's one of those days that he got an injection and for the knee inflammation that he's been having, and somehow it caused and set up an infection. So he's out. So they actually, he's going to be out for this game, and then they eventually put him on the injured reserve, which means he's got to miss 4 games. And so that means that's him, that's D-Law, that's Micah, probably Kalen Carson. They're probably going to miss this game. And then you hear on Friday that Dagum Diggs had an injury, and Maurice Leofau had an injury. I think he had a hamstring. And I'm like, good gracious, all these people going down. And then the coup de grace, you got your owner on 105.3, The Fan, and they asking him, well, man, you got these young players, and we do got a bunch of young players. And because I guarantee you on today's game, there will be no less than like 7 rookies playing, like 3 or 4 like second year players. Okay. So, because 2 offensive linemen are rookies, if we go into a 2 tight end set, we'll probably have Brevin Spanford, I couldn't say his name right, and probably Hunter Lukey, okay, who's in his second year. He'll play probably some tight ends, some fullback, some other stuff. He's a second-year player, right? And probably starting will be Jalen Tolbert, the third-year guy. Jalen Brooks will probably get some playing time. He's a second-year guy. And then Brian Flournoy, he'll get some playing time because he'll be called up to the 53-man roster or 46-man active roster, whatever. And he'll probably get some playing time, get his baptizing into the NFL. So, and that's just on offense, okay? You go to defense, and then, of course, you got Marshawn Nealon, you got Leofau, you got Overshown, that's 3. If Kalen Carson plays, that's 4. All those 4 guys are rookies. I know Overshown played last year, drafted last year, but he didn't play last year, okay? And I also forgot John Stevens Jr., who didn't play last year. He would be a rookie, too, because he didn't play last year. So they asked him, so you got all these young guys playing, and, you look in the secondary, there's a bunch of young guys playing, and the defensive line is a bunch of like, low level, like, fill in the gap kind of guys, Carlos Watkins and, what's the kid's name? KJ Henry and all these guys. And so the guy asked Jerry, said, man, from the looks of it, he said, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but it looked like to me, y'all doing like a soft kind of rebuild. Now, you would think any other owner would say, oh, no, man. We're always trying to win. We're always trying to put our best foot forward. We're trying to, we're always trying to compete. We're always trying to get in front. We're trying to do. No, he said, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think it's when you kind of got to do it with the young guys. That's the way we got to do it, because I'm sitting there like, no, Jerry, that's the way you want to do it, because there's nobody else having no success with a big preponderance of young players, 1 and 2 year players. Okay, yeah, you have a rookie, first or second year player, 2, 3 players, 4 players out of the entire roster, that gets to play. Out of the 22 guys that you're going to have to be playing, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, but not nearly half the players are going to be first and second year players. He don't want to play that way. So I'm like, so you got these injuries, that I just mentioned, and then you look at the team that you're playing. You look at what the prognosticators are telling you. And then you look at what your owner is telling you, okay? And then you come to the conclusion like, well, dang, why should we even, why should we even go to the game? I'll tell you what we should do. Call Roger Goodell right now and tell him we forfeit. Huh? I mean, yeah. I mean, to hear them tell it, why show up to play? All right? Why show up to play? Okay. Let's go down the litany of things. It's a mountain of things we got against us in this game, right? All right. So let me pull up my screen over here. Bam. Okay. So we've got all these injuries, and it's just not to just random dudes. It's not like some nonchalant third string corner is out. No. Kalen Carson is out. It's not some nondescript pass rushers out. No, it's Micah Parsons and D-Law, our best 2 of our 3 best defensive players. And then, you got Diggs, who's not out, but is probably could be compromised. Those are big things. And then offensively, our wide receiver too, Brandon Cooks. And so you're gonna put a lot of inexperience on the field to go with CD Lamb. So if you're playing against a smart defense, you know what they're going to do? They're going to bracket CD, make Dak throw into tight windows like we've been throwing them, but you're going to be throwing to guys that, let's just say this, don't exactly know where to go on the field yet. All right? They're trying to figure this thing out. Because, see, when Jerry's talking about this thing, we got to do it with these young players, because if you look at because there's different types of teams. Most teams mix up their player acquisition. They mix up this. They get some players through the draft. They get some players through trades. Get some players through free agency. And you kind of mix it up. You want some veterans and some young players, because somebody got to show the young ones where to go, how to line up, how to be a pro, how to take care of your body, how to give them the benefit of their experience, the things they've seen, places they've gone, the playoff successes they've had. You want to have those things, right? But we want to go with the young guys because first of all, because they're cheaper, okay? But I don't like it because you don't have nobody showing nobody the way, and then while you making mistakes, those mistakes cost you games. All right, so you got all these young guys, right? And so that's the only way you can do it, because they say, you got a high price quarterback that you can build around, but you got to build around them with young players. And I'm sitting there like, no, because don't nobody else do that. Because when you look up the Philadelphia Eagles, they got a high price quarterback, but they're also paying every member except Micah Becton, because I think they just acquired him. He's kind of the middle of the road offensive lineman. But if you look at Malata, you're looking at Landon Dickerson, you're looking at Lane Johnson, they're all high-priced offensive linemen. They're all $15 million a piece and up, okay? And I can't think of what the center's name is, but he just got signed. So all the offensive linemen are high-priced guys, okay, in addition to your quarterback. You also got 2 of the highest-priced wide receivers in the league with Devontae Smith at like $25-26 million a year, and AJ Brown at like $31 million a year. Okay, you also got a high-priced tight end in Dallas Goedert that makes about $14-15 million a year. Okay, then on defense you got Brandon Graham And then you got I don't know what his price point is, but you also got Big Play Slay, Darius Slay. Okay, all those guys are high-priced guys. All of them are. And you got a high-priced running back. $13 million is a high price to pay for a running back in today's climate. But they're making it all work. So what he's saying is that, well, yeah, you got to do this to make the salary cap. Well, maybe they using a different salary cap than us. Maybe. Okay? Because it's like, for instance, if your parents and my parents worked at the same factory, our parents go to the factory, they both work there, and your dad and my dad, your mom and my mom both make, let's say they make $20 an hour. Okay. But my dad tells us we can't afford cable, we can't afford clothes, we got to use hand-me-downs, we got to go to the thrift store. Meanwhile, the people next door got the same thing, work the same place, but they got, the nice clothes, they got cable, and they got, because I didn't have cable growing up, I'm using that. They don't have to use hand-me-downs, they don't have to use any of that stuff, they don't have to they don't have to go to thrift stores. They get other, so you would be like, well, wait a minute, maybe y'all budgeting y'all stuff differently than us. Yeah, we got to do this and you don't. And seeing that we got the same $270+ million to spend, maybe you're not using yours as well as we're using ours. Or maybe you're just stubborn and don't want to use it the way the other teams are using it, and then you cry poverty. I don't know, one of those things. But other teams are doing that and not stacking their teams with a bunch of first-year players and second-year players. Same thing for the 49ers. 49ers got Trent Williams, a $19-20 million left tackle. You got Christian McCaffrey, who's not playing, but he's like a $15 million, probably the highest paid running back in the league. He's currently in Germany seeking treatment on his two Achilles. You got Deebo Samuels is about a $22-23 million wide receiver. And then you just signed Brandon Ayuk for $31 million. Okay. And then you also got George Kittle, is like a $15 million tight end. Okay. On defense, you got Nick Bosa making $34 million. He's like the first or second highest paid defensive player in the league. And you got what's the kid they got from Philadelphia? He's making about $19 million a year. Then you got Fred Warner that's making about $20 million. And you got Mafunga that's making about $14-15 million. Now, you're not paying Purdy, but you're paying a lot of other guys. And these are the teams that we got to beat. So when Jerry says that's the only way you can do it, nah, Jerry, other teams are doing it the other way, and these are the teams we got to beat. But so he goes on to say, oh yeah, we're in a soft rebuild. And I didn't like him saying that, because that kind of stuff poisons the locker room. Because, like it or not, these are human beings. All right. I know we like to think they are Madden characters that you can just, adjust the player efficiency on each one of them to go out and play. But these human beings. And if you I'm out there beating my head against the wall and you're telling me, oh, we're in a soft rebuild, and then, you look at half the team, 30 some odd players on 1-year deals. I mean, the writing kind of is on the wall, and you could actually be doing it without saying it. Sometimes people want you to lie to them, at least tell me, hey, we got a chance. We're trying to win. But when you say we're doing a soft rebuild, it's like saying, yeah, we just kind of going through the motion. We just kind of see what kind of players we got, and so we can see who we keep and who we don't keep. So basically, the main objective is to see who we got, not to see if we can win or not. We're not in the same race with the Lions and the 49ers and the Eagles and the Chiefs and and now the Vikings, who just turned 5-0 over in London. They won 23-17 over the over the Green Bay Packers. Not Green Bay Packers, it's Aaron Rodgers over the New York Jets. So you got that, and you wonder, because certain things are poison in the locker room, because like saying, "Ooh, what if we had if we got the backup quarterback play? What if he goes out and runs off 2-3 wins, and we got in 4-5 weeks down the line, we might have to make a decision." That kind of pokes at quarterback controversy. See, you're trying to make headlines and not understanding that you kind of, them locker rooms are kind of like so I'm wondering, one of the things that's worrying me about tonight's game is because people can react one or two ways when they hear disturbing or bad stuff or stuff that they don't want to hear. They could either say, "Oh, well, okay, well, fine. I'm still gonna do what I do, and I'm not gonna let that, bother me." Or you could be one of these people like, "Man, why bother? I'm on a 1-year deal. Why am I going out there banging my head against the wall? I can go ahead and get hurt, and these folks just gonna cut me next year anyway." When you could just like, you know what, man, hey, man, my hamstring ain't feeling good. And really, when you do that, man, all these kind of things could take place. So you got that going against. You got the injuries to key persons. We're going up against one of the best defenses. Let's see how the defense is. I actually pulled up the Steelers stats here. On defense, they got the second best defense in the league points wise. They're only giving up about 13 points a game. Total yards a game, they're fourth place, so they top 5 in points and yards. 261 yards a game. Okay, passing yards per game, only giving up 8. They're still top 10, so they're in top 10 in rushing, in total yards, passing yards. Rushing yards per game, they're in third place. So they're in top 5 in 2 of the things, points and rushing yards, and then top 10 in passing yards, okay? 174 yards a game in passing yards, okay? And only giving up 86 yards rushing per game, okay? And they 14th in sacks. They've gotten 11 sacks this year, okay? But Draft Sharks placed the defense of the Steelers in PPR defense as the number 1 defense. Okay, when you put all those matrices together. Okay, so you got a number of key guys missing. You got your owner kind of potentially poisoning the well, putting it out there that you're really not trying as hard as you really want. Winning not the number 1 objective right now. We're really trying to evaluate and see who we want to keep and discard, that sort of thing. And then you factor in, we up against, on the road, mind you, against a team that really, all actuality, could be 4-0. They're 3-1. They lost a tough one last week. Had an opportunity to tie that game up late and wasn't able to do it. But and so we're going up against that team. And let's go on with these things. Jerry's killing the vibe with this soft rebuild foolishness. Okay, then we got on our end. Let's pull up the Cowboy stats. Now, offensively, we don't look too bad. We're averaging about 24 points a game. That's not too bad. It's let me check and see if I got. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Let's check to make sure nobody. I see some people on the chat with me. We're averaging 26 points per game. 24.3 points per game. Okay. Which is 12th in the league, which is just a little above halfway. All right. Then you look at total yards per game. We 304, which is 14th, which is right around just a little over middle of the pack. Passing yards per game, we're 5th, which means we're throwing the ball to almost 270 a game. Rushing the ball, dead freaking last. We are only averaging 75 yards per game. It's like I was telling you before, we the only team in the league ain't got a 10-yard run from our running backs. Our longest run, C.D. Lamb's 12-yard run. We don't have anything. So we averaging about 75 yards a game. And if you factor in, I think we got like 170 yards in 4 games. And 100 of those yards, 240 yards, whatever, in 4 games. But 100 of those yards came in the Cleveland game where we had a pretty nice running game, 101, 102 yards rushing. But so the last 3 games, we only got like 100 yards, 120 yards or so rushing in 3 games, which is like 40, 50 yards a game. So our average is 75.3, which is number 32, which is dead freaking last. So if you factor in with a worst rushing team in the NFL, and we're going against the 3rd defensive rushing team only giving up 87 yards per game rushing the game. So that means we're not going to be able to run the ball. We're going to have to throw the ball every down, and we're throwing the ball with inexperienced receivers, and they got a defense that they can actually put 4 guys in the box, 4 or 5 guys in the box, and cover our guys with like 6 guys, which is what teams have been doing, and make Dak throw into tight windows. Okay, which is how teams have tried to play us because we can't run the football. And we don't know why we can't run the football. Is it the running backs or is it the scheme? And I say yes, because they were showing it on Lando the other night. I was watching Lando Sports last night. He's giving a preview. Check out Lando Sports. He's good. Lando, the Lando Show. Good cowboy content creator. I support all of the cowboy content creators because good material there. But he was showing that a lot of the times there was holes that the guys were just missing, and then there was times the guys was missing blocks. So yes, schemes not good. Got 2 rookies on the offensive line, okay, and you got running backs that's really not seeing the thing the way it's supposed to be seen, or missing things, or missing holes, and and running into the back of their linemen and things of that nature. So it was actually shown by Duke Manyweather. I was watching Landlord Sports yesterday. Landlord and Henny DeMore. So I watched them a good bit yesterday. They had a couple of videos. I was watching them. And so anybody that don't know who Duke Manyweather is, Big Duke is like the guy that works with all the offensive linemen across the league. And of course, now he's got an office in Frisco that the guys in Dallas, from Steele to Tyler Smith to Tyler Guyton to Zach Martin, all our guys have used Duke Manyweather to refine their skills and get their fundamentals, their footwork, their timing, their hand placement. He works on all that stuff with them. Now, of course, how bad our offensive line has been looking for the running game and how bad we're looking running the football and stuff like that. Duke Manyweather sent over some still shots that showed these big Cavendish-sized holes that the running backs were just missing. So you check out Landlord Sports on yesterday and check out Lando Sports, Lando and Landlord. They kind of sound the same, but 2 different kind of content creators. But like I said, that's where I get a lot of my material from and listening to. So we can't run the football, and then this team don't allow nobody to run the football. So we're gonna throw it every down, and then we not gonna have nobody to throw the ball to because they're gonna bracket CeeDee Lamb. So we got all that going against us. And then you start listening to the stuff that happened after the Baltimore game. We start hearing the S word with our players. And they talked to DeMarion Overshawn about that. He said, "No, yeah, we hear all that stuff that we soft. We don't want to smoke. We don't want to tackle. We make business decisions." All that stuff is happening after that Saints game. All that stuff is happening after that Baltimore game because we gave up 200 yards rushing in one game and 200 yards rushing in the other game. We gave up almost 500 yards rushing in the 2 games. Now, we got a break on last week. Last Thursday, we only 6 carries. Now, I don't know because that was the Giants or what, but he said, "Yeah, we take that to heart, man. We I got it in my thing. We GAMs, we grown men. Yeah, we hear that. Nobody wants to. We play football for a living. We don't want nobody to call us soft. Calls into question our manhood, and it does. You ain't about that. You just out there playing. You ain't out there. You just want to run around and stuff. But when it comes down to getting business done, you don't want to do it. You don't want that smoke." And he said, "No, and said, yeah, we heard all that stuff. We heard people calling us soft, calling us finesse. And so, yeah, we took that seriously. And so, yeah, we as grown men, we not wanting that to be said about us, okay? And then you hear Mozzie Smith, and I was so proud. Mozzie had a great game against the Giants, albeit against the Giants. But they asked him about stopping the run. He said, yeah, stopping the run, it's not really no secret. You just got to, Jeff Sanina and I can't think of the other guy's name, but they've been working with Mozzie. One of the things Mozzie was doing was, when he gets in the, with the, when he gets come into contact with the offensive lineman, he always turns. He said, no, you got to keep your shoulders square and keep your weight balanced and keep your leverage and stuff down. It's hard for one techs and, defensive tackles to be effective, like right out the box. Usually it takes them a couple of years because they don't know how to use their weight. It would have been that good to have kept Jonathan Hankins for another couple of, Paul Gunther. That's the other guy. Paul Gunther and Jeff Sanina. Them the two dudes that's working with the defensive line and the linebackers. Paul Gunther and Jeff Sanina. Okay, them the two dudes that was working with Mozzie. And it's like, if you keep your shoulders square, you can stop the run. And you don't, and you just kind of watch your gaps. You don't get pushed out of your gap because you're 320 pounds. You're supposed to be able to hold that anchor down, right? And so he was saying, you just do what you're supposed to do. Watch your keys. Don't get fooled by the eye candy. Look at your keys. Listen to what you've been seeing in film. He said, yeah, it's just a matter of understanding what you're doing. Yeah, we can stop the run. It's not no magic potion in doing that, right? So I believe in them, right? So here's what I'm saying. You got all these things running against us. Top 3 rushing defense. One of the worst running defense that we run defense is our rush defense is 26 in the league. We're giving up 145 yards against you. We gave up like 400 yards in 2 games. So we got it down to 145. We on our way down, man. But rushing yards, we got the worst. And then the Steelers are 10th. I think they do like 128 yards on the ground. Okay. So it's like the movable object versus the irresistible force. All right. So you got all those things, and you get worst rush defense versus the 10th best rushing offense. Our inability to corral mobile quarterbacks, and we know Justin Fields is one of the most mobile, one of the most elusive, one of the fastest, one of the craftiest dudes. The ball movement, as far as the play action, all this kind of thing. Maybe not the greatest decision maker, but he's only a second or third year guy, and he really hadn't had a whole lot of starting snaps in the league, And but in terms of like the broken play, the first and second read ain't there, and then it's a broken play, and then dude, you better watch where that dude is. And we've seen it with Lamar and some other. We have problems corralling them kind of guys, and Justin Fields is one of those kind of guys, right? So yeah, we're 29th worst versus the run, and then we second. And then the time of possession. This is the thing that I think is key. The time of possession. Did you not know that we in time of possession, we are 29th in the league in time of possession? That means we don't possess the football. That means a lot of our drives are 3 and outs or 4 and outs, and we're giving up the football. But on defense, we only possess the ball 27 minutes a game. That means the other team is having the ball 33 minutes a game. That's a 6-minute difference. All right. So we're allowing the teams to grind the clock out on us, because the Steelers, on the other hand, are time of possession are number 2 in the league. Okay. They are number 2. In the league in terms of time of possession. They possess the ball 33.13 seconds in the league, which is about the amount of time we give up time of possession. Okay, if you're giving it 27, then 33, that makes up a 60-minute game. So what we're giving up is what the Steelers are averaging. Okay, so which means that the Steelers look to grind the clock out, long, grinded out game, long drop, running the ball 4, 5, 6 yards a run, throwing in some misdirection passes, throwing it to Frymouth and Darnell Jackson. Those are some of the things that you want to do, and that's how they'll grind the clock up. We got to be able to win on first down, right? We got to be able to win on first down and stop letting it be 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2. Okay, that's how you guarantee you're going to be on the field 7 and 8, 9 minutes on drives. Okay, you got to turn it into 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, which means they'll throwing down, which means you can unleash your, the mini. Because I know after the first game, Zimmer said we got like 50 like sets and stuff with you, but we never get a chance to use them because teams ain't throwing the ball on us because they're throwing it 15, 16 times a game. Now, Danny Downs threw it 40. Okay, that's why we won. Okay, because we was ahead most of that game. But if we let the team dictate to us, then we can't get ahead, and then we playing uphill the rest of the game, right? So those are the things. So you got a lot of things going against us in this game. All right. So again, I'm back to my original questions. And like I said, they call us one of the most finesse, one of the most softest, if you want to call it, teams. I don't call them soft. I ain't calling another man that plays football soft. Okay. But in a football context compared to other teams, sometimes we can be a little soft. Okay. But those things are mindset. All right. One of the weaker-minded teams. I've heard that before. And I said that those guys hear that stuff, right? And against one of the more physical, teams in the league, okay, on the road, okay? So when you put all that together, I go back to what it says in my opening. Why even play? Why even play? Because nobody thinks we got a shot. Nobody believes we're going to win. That's a situation where they go in the locker room, and that's a thing where Dak would tell them, I guess, I'm trying to think, I guess Eric Kendricks, he's like the senior dude on defense. Look, nobody outside this locker room believes we got a chance to win this game, okay? So why do I think we can still win? Because I'm a Cowboy fan and I always believe in us, okay? Even though I call it like I see it. I know it's a lot of things we don't do well. Some things we don't do well, sometimes we don't prepare the best, but every so often we will do some things, very well. And I believe, number one, I believe in Dak. Okay. I believe in Dak. I believe Dak, the most experienced quarterback in this game. I believe he's going to get us into the right looks. He's going to get us into the right plays. He's not going to make the big mistake. He's not going to get fooled by nothing that the Steelers are going to show them. Mike Tomlin said it is best in his pregame, his weekly press conference. He said, "Yeah, Dak pretty much has seen it all." He said, "We ain't gonna be able to fool him." I said, "No, you're not gonna fool him." Now the execution, which depends on what the offensive line does and the adjustments the wide receivers and stuff make to the, what they're seeing, that's a different thing. But you're not gonna fool him into running a play that ain't for the defenses out there. He's gonna run the right play. Okay. So I believe in him. I believe Mike, meaning Mike McCarthy, who's caught a lot of flack this season for his pedestrian offense. You run into the sticks, running stop routes, running turnaround routes, running into coverage, running routes where the defense is and wanting guys to make, catch balls in traffic on every play. I can understand one or two here, but not every play. But I believe with 10 days off and hearing all the things, people talking to him in the press conference about motion and being, a little more creative, a little more motion, a little more misdirection, a little more giving the defense eye candy, making the defense think a little more, instead of just letting them just, lock in and just play defense. No, make them, think a little bit. Oh, they could be running this or they could be running that. So with 10 days off, I think him and Mike Zimmer will come up with an offensive plan that's going to work, and Mike Zimmer will come up with a defensive plan that's going to work. If we can keep them into, long downs and distance, I think they can run up. I think they'll come up with a blitz package and a pass defense scheme that's going to have Justin Fields kind of all over the place. And I think we can do that. Okay. And then And you got 10 days to prepare for this. And 3, pride. Look, man, you ain't gonna call me soft or call me weak-minded. You're not gonna call me that but too many times, and I gotta respond. All right? I gotta respond. I'm a grown man. You're not fixing to crushed in my manhood, or you're not gonna do that forever. So I'll look for them to come and bring it, even though we got all of the matrices against us. I feel like they didn't heard all of the stuff, and we come in and you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I do, and you can get hit in the mouth just like we can get hit in the mouth. And I believe we're gonna come with that. We're gonna come with that smoke today. They've heard all the chatter, the soft, finesse, weak-minded. They've heard all that, right? And then lastly, it's something Chris Berman says, and we're getting ready to close the video because I want to watch the rest of these evening games. 49ers are winning over the Cardinals, which I picked. And the Giants and the Seahawks are tied, which, like I said, it goes back to something Chris Berman said when they doing the Monday prime time. When you look at a game, they got all the matrices, all the prognosticators, all of the bet, whatever services are saying this team has no chance to win. This team got an 88% chance to win. So why you even play the game? That's why Chris Berman said that's why they play them. Because they don't be played on paper. It's played between the white lines, and it's grown men going up against other grown men. And when you tell somebody that they got no chance, man, look out. Them the guys you need to worry about. I worry about a guy when everybody tells them they the best. That's when I worry about you, because you start smelling yourself. You start reading your own press clippings. But when you tell people that you ain't got a shot, you can't do it, you can't cut it, man, that's the guy I want. I'm gonna bet on that guy, because if he got any kind of pride, any kind of gumption whatsoever, that guy's gonna come with it. Okay, he's going to come with it. When you tell him he can't, that's the guy that I'm going to bank on. That guy, once you tell him he can't do it, you don't have it anymore. It's something Nick Saban said when you could call it an upset a couple of years ago in the SEC championship game when they were playing the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs was undefeated. They won like 40 some odd games in a row. And he said, I ain't had no problem motivating my team. He says, because most of the times I guard my team against the rat poison, which is, you're hearing all the press clippings about how good you are. He said, but everybody said that they couldn't win, so the rat poison they got this week was yummy. And I told them, yeah, read that. Read how you can't make it. You can't get it. You can't beat this team. They're in a totally different class than you. And he said, and I had motivating them was easy. So motivating them this week, Mike McCarthy, should be easy. Because everybody's already said they're winning. Everybody's counting them out. That can't do it. He's going there with a bunch of rookies and young players that don't even know what they're doing. The owners and gave up on the season. Why even play? That's why they play the game. So that's why I think our Cowboys not only may win, they will win. You want to score? Cowboys 20, Steelers 17. Butter Aubrey kicks a 55-yard field goal at the close, and they win the game. That's what I got. So why play the game? Because you don't know until you play. Okay? You don't know until you play. So that's all I got, man. I'm fixing to go in here, make myself something to drink, get myself some chips, or I'm getting ready to watch some football this evening. So I think the Cowboys are going to surprise. They're going to shock the world. They're going to shock the world. All right? Please like, comment, subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Guarantee you will not be disappointed. Cowboys 20, Steelers 17. Cowboys go to 3-2. They got Detroit Lions next week, and then we'll see what happens. But And then when it's over, I'm gonna come right back on and come win, lose, or draw. I'm coming right back on here and we're gonna talk about it. But that's all we got. Catch you guys on the next video. God bless. Take care.